Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. I'm going to start off with drawing one card from the Prisma Visions Tarot and then another card from this box of cards, which are cards that I made myself, if you didn't already know. If you'd like to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And remember that this is a general reading that could be meant for more than one person. So if you're struggling to find meaning in a message, that's okay. Just let it go, because it might just be meant for someone else. And if it truly was meant for you, the universe and your spirit guides will make that obvious to you, either sometime during this reading or sometime during your journey. So I got a little peek at the bottom of the deck while I was talking, and I had this sticker on this card that said third eye chakra. So maybe if you feel pressure where your third eye is, or maybe itching, something about this chakra is significant. I just saw 122 and then 123. So remember that change starts with you, and to trust that everything happens for a reason. It's interesting because it's like somehow the things that you went through, you are supposed to create changes, whether it's just on like a micro vibrational level or a macro community level. It does feel like your intuition is trying to guide you somewhere. So for your first card, I have the star card with the crown chakra and Aquarius. I'm not sure what this planet is here. I think it's Uranus, but I'm not sure. That is the element of air. The wind could be significant for someone. I just heard earth, wind, and fire. Maybe all of the elements, nature in general, could be significant for somebody watching this. I also think it's interesting that the crown chakra is here. So your crown chakra and your third eye seem to be significant here. It feels very, very spiritual. You could be healing, gaining wisdom, and really, really strengthening your intuition. It does feel like, your psychic abilities, or, whatever you want to call them, you are, I want to say honing those for somebody, but generally speaking, you are definitely sharpening your intuitive skills. Maybe the difference that you're supposed to make is meant to be more spiritual, meaning it could be more vibrational, but it could also be a mix of both. It could definitely be different for everybody watching this. Some people feel the need to just, show up honestly and authentically and nothing more. And others feel the need to show up honestly and authentically and, shout their stories and their lessons to the rooftops. Not all of us are meant to, I don't know how to put it. Some of us are meant to be more behind the scenes, and some of us are meant to be more on the stage. Wow, that's very interesting. There could be something like a more creative type of career that you're wanting to do, or the creative industry is what you're trying to get into. Maybe entertainment, performance somehow could definitely be significant for you. I love that the star shows up because it's an awesome energy. It's just as good as the sun, if not better. I saw 432, so trust that everything happens for a reason. We're seeing the star card here for a reason. And I just saw 444. Some foundation here has been how do I say this? It's been upended, uprooted, and now it's time for things to settle back down again. It does feel like somebody here is headed towards a more hopeful, abundant, I want to say intuitive future. I saw another sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason. This is very powerful energy, and I thought that was interesting because yesterday's reading, it was also a very short reading with only a couple of cards, and it was another major arcana. So even though the message from yesterday and today seems short, sweet, to the point, they definitely feel like powerful messages. Freeing yourself from something that you felt attached to or bound to. It feels like you are becoming free. Yeah, I just saw 555. Change is happening. The work that you have done is paying off. Even if it's not, immediately apparent right now, you're definitely on the right path to where you truly not only are meant to be, but deserve to be. One second. I just now noticed here that wow, I've never looked at this card this closely. Let's see here. You can actually see a head shape right here. And then there's someone falling here inside their mind. And this actually reminds me of some sort of artwork that I did myself about someone. They were falling out of the light and into the darkness, but not in a bad way. I mean, in that art that I did, it was more shadowy and heavy, but in this, it's definitely not. The Star card is not a heavy energy whatsoever. It's very liberating. And I noticed that it's like a woman here. This is more like a woman, I don't know if you could tell, a woman falling into a man's mind. I do get this feeling of like yin and yang, where it's like even though there's like major differences between men and women, there's also little things that aren't so different. That's very interesting. For someone very, very specific here, regardless of your gender, somebody could have you on their mind. Like you are just falling into their mind. And I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Just take it however it resonates. The Star card has the number 17 on it. That comes down to an 8 in numerology. So whatever you've been trying to let go, keep doing that, because it's really propelling you forward, I want to say. Wow. And for the other card, it says, I am not perfect, but beautifully imperfect, and that's okay. And then 444 right here again, that could be a very significant number for you, so pay attention to that number. 222 could be significant as well. It feels like things are falling into balance for you. Things are becoming less chaotic, definitely less extreme. And that makes me so happy for you. And this is all happening because of how much you have learned to love yourself unconditionally, how much patience you have learned to give yourself in a way that you have always deserved, not only from yourself, but also from the adults in your life from when you were a kid. I feel like there is a very strong inner child energy here. It's that's very, very present. So I feel like, maybe you have already been working on that relationship with your younger self. Regardless of how much you've been working on that relationship, that your relationship with your younger self is definitely being nurtured, and you're definitely being encouraged to keep doing that. Keep listening to what your younger self has always had to say. I just feel such a creative, expressive type of energy. Like, maybe your younger self has always had a vision or ideas, or has always just wanted to be heard about something great or grand. And your healing is really not only soothing your younger self, but it's also giving yourself and your younger self, because you're still the same person, you know. Maybe you had to rediscover who you are through reconnecting with your younger self. But you're really giving yourself and your younger self a voice. I want to say like a platform, an avenue, a way forward. And that's honestly a really, really beautiful energy. And I did actually notice that yesterday in the reading that I recorded or uploaded, whatever, the star it actually came through. So if you are feeling guided, I really, really encourage you to watch that reading as well, because whoever is watching this, you are going through something powerful. And I just feel like even though these messages are short, they are definitely useful for you. But that will be the end of your reading. I really, really hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you'd like to hit the like button to show me that is the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can do so by donating through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any. I'd really love to connect with you and hear what's on your mind. And thank you so much to those of you who have shown your support thus far. It really means a lot to me, and it always makes a difference in one way or another. But the last thing that I want to say is thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.